where did Goliath come from?
I took an initiative. I talked to my pops about, really wanting to leave a legacy. We traveled, we flew or drove. I think we flew to another city and did some music videos. And one night I was working on them videos, and all of a sudden my computer just shut down. I'm actually stuck in LA because the people I'm with won't fly me home.
Wow.
They felt like I owed them more
Because of what happened.
Let's
rewind to young Jeff. Young
Hefe. Jeff Bro. My goal is to, really show the world, like, you can start and other artists, other photographers and videographers, freelancers, that you truly aren't going to succeed as much as you think you are alone. The CEO podcast, man. Shout out to the city and shout out to everybody that's out here watching, because that makes you a believer.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to I Am CEO podcast. This is episode 5. And look, we're only just getting started, but this next guest I want to introduce, he is the shooter behind the shot. And that means anything from the shot of a wedding, the shot of not a music video, but in the past, maybe some music videos, but whatever you need documented, this person has done it. He's still under 40. He might still be under 30. I don't know. But guess what? We have him here on the show, and it's an honor to introduce to ladies and gentlemen. I call him Goliath, but his name is Jeff Hendricks, and he's dressed to impress today.
That's right, man.
Introduce him.
That's right, man. Hey, what a pleasure to be on here. I'm honored.
Absolutely, bro.
On the CEO podcast, man. Shout out to the city, and shout out to everybody that's out here watching, because that makes you a believer.
Okay, listen, man, as a CEO, we all have to have believers, and our tribe is not always a tribe that we start with. It's the tribe that you are in a journey and who you end with. So we're going to cheers to that first, because I usually cheers at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little sauce in the game now. All right, man, so let's start at the beginning. I'm going to start at the beginning of when I met you. So I believe it was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And tell the people about how we met.
Listen, man, I had a brother of mine, Dennis Reed, hit me up. Shout out to Dennis, man. And he called me. He said, "Listen, I got my sister Fantasia. She getting, she want to have a nice little dinner at her place with her husband." And I said, "Fantasia, Marino?" Well, he was like, "Yeah, man, I need you to come through and capture this dinner, man. They're gonna have a chef. They're gonna have a whole nine going." And I ended up getting there, and I saw you in there cooking and doing your thing, but you was mad focused.
Right.
Yeah, he was just in his bag. But when I saw the process and how you were doing things and how the organization, the process, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
This is the kind of chef they work with. Like, top notch for real.
And the crazy part was Tasia had texted me, and I got a text message. It was a area code. I'm familiar with the area code, but I didn't have the number saved. And it just said, "What's up, bro? This is Tasia." I'm like,
yeah,
Asia.
She called me son. She's like, "What's up, son?" "Hey, son."
So we talked, and she was like, "Look, I'm doing my 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I'm having a violinist, videographer." So that's crazy, because segue from that to fast forward, we were getting engaged, me and my wife. Shout out to you, boo. And I believe you were looking at the location, but we wanted some type of a beach look. So you found the location.
Yeah, so that process really for me was like just rolling in the dice. I didn't even know Charlotte or Lake Norman or, just anywhere. Charlotte. Like, I was like, man, we about to have to drive to Myrtle Beach.
Right.
South Carolina, something like that, man. And I just like looked it up and just was resourceful. I just had to become resourceful at that point and ended up finding the perfect location. All we needed was just a little beach.
That's it.
Just a little sand. And y'all brought sand to the beach there.
Oh, yeah, listen, man. This is crazy, because I believe that video helped helped us get out there as a couple, but also helped your business. Like, how did that affect your business when people seen that type of documentary through video?
Absolutely, man. Honestly, it was finally my opportunity to show people that I enjoy storytelling, even if it's in a short form.
Yeah.
And one way that I was able to do that was just to be able to illustrate, like, this is what love looks like On top of that, this is possibly what Black love could look like. And for someone that's single or, you know, looking for their special person, you point to that and you go, that's inspirational.
And it's crazy because we watched that video, me and my wife, and it's humble beginnings for us because we was like, man, look, people don't know we was in a struggle mode, but in love. So
in love, and that's really what it's about, documenting. That's the importance of like me as an artist and a storyteller, visual storyteller. It starts with that. I believe it starts with that story. And, you know, when you have something to go back to when times are great or when times are pretty tough, it's nothing like going back and just looking at, you know, the chapters that get you where you are.
As a married man, almost 5 years now, I can go back to that video even after a little disagreement and be like, you know what, that right there, I can get back to that. This was just this is just a moment. So that was great, man. So let's go ahead and rewind. Let's rewind to young Jeff. Young
Hefe. Jeffro. That's the young Jeff. I went by Jeffro. Jeffro or Calf Strings if he was in college with me. They called me Calf Strings. Running track, man, my calves were the same size, the same width as my quads running track. And I had, you know, all my friends and teammates and even coach was just like, shout out to Coach Dubs, man. I'm happy retirement on your end. But yeah, he definitely called me Calf Strings.
Tell the people if they don't already know you, but for the listeners who don't, tell them where you came from, what city, like where did Jeff get in?
Jeff Hendricks the second. Jeff Hendricks the second started, you know, in Charlotte, North Carolina, born and raised, and I've been here for 31 years. I studied.
So he is over 30 years.
Yeah, man.
I was thinking, make sure you.
Yeah, for sure. We having fun. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about that. But definitely wanted to just let you all know, man. I'm from the city. Queen City, Buzz City, whatever you want to call it, Charlotte. And I grew up on the east side, over there on Almar Road, Othello.
So I ain't from it. So is that considered like? Is that considered the hood, or is that considered like, you know?
It's considered the east side.
Okay, I got you.
And if you're from the east, you already know. But at the same time, man, throughout my journey, I went to a few schools, but I ran track, played football throughout my entire life, man. And I did a little basketball, young side, like at a young jit. But
what events did you run in football?
And so in football, I was a running back. I always played running back for a slot receiver, or kick return, punt returner for my speed. But man, it was a journey running track. I was a sprinter, so I started out doing the 400 growing up. My pops put me in the 400 because he was like, listen, like, if you can run the 400, you can run any event.
Favorite race. I love it.
I hated it. I even went to Junior Olympics running the 400.
Oh, wow.
And like competed, ranked in the top in the country at a young age, and was able to take those skill sets to high school and college. And I was able to actually compete for, the Trent Guy Senior. Shout out to X-Man. But God rest his soul, man. His life, was ended shortly, a few years ago, back in 2011. And when I was in college at UNC Charlotte, which was my second school, first school was Western Carolina. Shout out to the Catamounts. But, man, started the project when he took his life, and I called it Goliath. So that's what Goliath.
So that was good. That I'm glad you said that. That was gonna bring me to my next question. You getting far ahead of me. You moving with me, but I love it. Where did Goliath come from?
Oh man, Goliath was born when I took an initiative. I talked to my pops about really wanting to leave a legacy. When I was in college, yeah. The biggest thing that he said to me was, you gotta ask God what that name is gonna be. You gotta talk to God and really truly figure out who you're gonna be.
Yeah.
And I knew my name was Jeff. I didn't have a middle name growing up, but I knew I was Jeff Hendricks II, and I just wanted to leave a legacy, like a strong legacy that meant something to people, that showed the world, hey, he's giving back.
Right.
I want to be able to give back. And he was like, we had this conversation with Maya Angelou and Cicely Tyson, Dr. Barbara King, and Dr. Jones. They've all passed away. But I was like 12, 13 years old, and I was in their kitchen in Winston-Salem, and it just happened to be a thought in my mind, like, man, how do I give back? And Cicely was like, he's going to do something with the arts. Cicely told my dad that, and she lived a long time. But
He's Cicely Tyson.
Cicely Tyson, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so when it came down to where I wanted to go in life, I was like, well, what's something I've struggled with that I could relate to? Mental health. Mental health was something that I've also tried to figure out a way to balance, that work-life balance. I feel like we all have our own shares of a Goliath in our life.
So the crazy part is that brings me to my kind of next part of that question, of the two-part question. What gives you, like, your version, you're starting to talk about it, of the work-life balance? How does that play a part into where you are today at 31 years old?
I think that being able to pour into my team and help people understand that this is bigger than me, when they reach out to Goliath or they see Goliath on worldwide on Instagram, they just see one person's work, and it's a lot more that goes into each and every post that I put out there. I don't even post a lot of my work. I'm tagged in a lot, but I'm not really posting a lot of my work because it may be a conflict of interest or whatever the case may be. I might not have finished somebody's edit, so I might not post. But at the same time, man, this really is a bigger than me situation, and my goal is to, really show the world, like, you can start and other artists, other photographers and videographers, freelancers, that you truly aren't going to succeed as much as you think you are alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Even with me, I learned that as a chef, because it's a journey by yourself, but it don't have to be a long journey if you do it with a team. So that's something I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I ain't figured it out yet, man. It's still stages.
But I tell you what, being coachable for me was the key. I thought that I was coachable when I first started working with other people and try to do like collaborations. And I realized along the way, like, I really am a perfectionist here. Like, I thought I was very easygoing, but I've learned along the way, like, the more coachable you are, the more of a team player, the bigger leader you can become.
So if there was a person that was, because I was going to save this for the end, but this is a great spot to put this question. If there's a young Goliath, let's just say high school, middle school, somebody watching this, what advice are you giving them as that young shooter looking to get into this industry?
Be willing to do it for free. Be willing to do it for nothing in return. Be willing to do it with the intent that it's not going to go anywhere but left or right. But have the faith that it's always going to propel you forward and always take you to another level.
That's good.
Just have no expectations.
That's one of the things I kind of started my career on, is helping and doing for others, and then it just reciprocated. So the high school, going into college, boom, Goliath was established, the CEO. Where did the pivot happen when you said, I am CEO?
I think the pivot happened once I had, someone tell me that they actually wanted to work with me, and because of a conversation they had with my agent.
So it was a first client type deal, or was it the first big opportunity?
Okay, that's a good question. So I realized I was a CEO once I had to bear responsibilities that I never even understood, like taxes, or, really just making sure that I'm managing things well. And that's when I realized that I needed help. That's when I realized the importance of my agent and my management team, my team. That's when I realized the importance of it. Was like, I can't do all of these tasks like right here, right now, when I got this big client that's ready, like yourself.
Right.
Chef Kev need these videos done. I can't be tied up doing taxes,
man,
figuring out, talking to a client about rates and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing all of that on my own. I was wearing every hat.
Which is overwhelming.
Yeah.
You're trying to negotiate for yourself, against yourself, for others, but you're trying to get paid, but then you're also trying to manage, meet deadlines, make edits, shoot, be on time, and
nurture relationships
all at once.
All at one time.
None of that can all happen at 100%. At some point, some of that is going to be 30% is going to fall. But you figured it out. So
yeah, I definitely feel.
And shout out to the manager who is actually a representation of me as well, Ebony. She's always behind the camera, but I'm gonna put her on the spot. She's here, so I can't show y'all, but she can peek her head in if
she definitely is here, man. Her presence has always felt like, Ebony, you are amazing. You're powerful beyond measure, and because the things that you're helping us do, it's giving us a whole new lifestyle. It's allowing us to go and do the things we really want to do for the people we love and care about.
Dude, you can get on the phone overwhelmed, and you get off the phone with Ebony, and literally you'd be like, okay, we about to do that. All right, bet, all right, I'm gonna call you back.
Yeah, I get off the phone with her, and I'm like,
you rejuvenated a little bit.
I'm rejuvenated, and I'm like, I feel like I just came out of therapy. Like, I had to be accountable for everything.
It's a weight that's lifted. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, shout out to everybody who is a CEO. Your team is bigger than yourself, and without the team, you can't be a CEO, honestly.
No.
You're just self-employed.
You're just self-employed, and I realized, like, okay, I am just self-employed because I'm saying yes to everything. I'm saying yes to any and every opportunity, whether it's, juju down the street, or it's a church, or it's a super, super wide range of clients that are interested in what we do.
Yes.
But if we say yes to everybody, bro, nobody's gonna win.
So one of the questions I hate as a CEO, as a chef, what do you specialize in? So that's why I wasn't going to ask you that question. But if you had to say let's talk about this. Is there one thing that you will not shoot, and why?
I will not go on tour for free no more. I will not go on tour and just shoot and be somebody's sole videographer and their content creator for the worth that if it's not measuring up for me and my team. If it's measuring up for me and my team, I'll consider it. But after my previous experiences growing in the game, I've learned, like, you got choices to make. Like, you either gonna eat or you gonna be food.
Because it looks good. It looks good. That's the thing. As a CEO, as a chef, it's similar to me. I've seen that same glimmering light. And you get out there and you like, dude, I'm overworked. I'm not overpaid. I'm underpaid. And the satisfaction ain't adding up. The math ain't math.
I'll come clean about something. Now, this is probably what every photographer or videographer has experienced in the game at least once.
I was going to ask that question too. Go ahead.
I experienced a time with, a top-notch label. They still top-notch label. And we were able to, do some nice work out in the city. We traveled, we flew or drove. I think we flew to another city and did some music videos. And one night I was working on them videos, and all of a sudden my computer just shut down. And I turned it back on, and all of the work that I was editing was now gone. And I had no resolution for it. And in that very moment, when I was right there at deadline moment, I had no solution other than take this hard drive to Geek Squad or some expensive repair guy, digital repair guy, and the footage was gone. I never recovered it. One, because, the files were just corrupted at that point. And I had to deliver the bad news to the client. And they were like, okay, Jeff, we're going to rock with you. We're gonna rock with you. So we go to a few more cities after that, right after that. It wasn't any waiting period.
Yeah.
It was like, we're going to keep this going because we got work to do. My artist is trying to go out, I'm trying to blow my artist up. Man, I was out with them so many days. The clients that I had lined up for that next week were waiting on me, and there was a client hit me up like, hey, you gonna be here for my appointment? Like, where we at? I'm actually stuck in LA because the people I'm with won't fly me home.
Wow.
They felt like I owed them more.
Because of what happened.
Because of what happened. And they had the funds. Like, you as a videographer, freelancer, be careful with that. When you're going on travel, sign a contract. I do not care if you mess up the bag or do whatever goes wrong. Make the contract work for both parties and make it equal so that nobody gets hurt. in that situation financially, because in those kind of situations, man, I would have took care of that, or let the court take care of all of that. Like, I wouldn't even been on no, emotional response to it. It'd have just been like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
I would have slid my whole way through it.
So in your industry, just like any industry, is there a time where there's like, what is it? We have chef beef, but shooter beef, like where you worked with a person?
A lot of shooters had beef with me I didn't even know about.
And that,
you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know. Like, I would go to an event, man, and I would love seeing certain people's work.
Right.
And I would be like, I'll see them, and I'll be like, yo, I'll go up to them, and it's like, most of the time, people, you get your dap. Nah, they don't have an issue that dap you up. And then I've had a few interactions where they shook my hand to hide detention. So in those cases, I just prayed for them, because I know it's collaboration at the top.
Right.
It's competition, you at the bottom.
Yeah.
Straight like that.
Yeah. So with that, there is a part in every business where you had to, we talked about somewhat of a pivot, but what is that moment where it was like that life-changing moment in your business where you went from just, I'm doing this is fun, I get paid, but now I'm really like experiencing a level of success?
I was able to work for the church and direct during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. I had an opportunity to just do a couple not live stream, but pre-recorded for the live stream. And I was able to, subcontract videographers, and I was overpaying videographers on purpose.
Nice.
Intentionally, because I knew how much they struggle to find work. So my structure that I set up with the church was like, I know the budget is going to help me be able to provide. And I was, paying videographers twice the amount they would normally pay, and they weren't editing.
Oh, wow.
They weren't editing. I would do all the editing. I'll just make sure, hey, per hour, you're going to get a $250 here. It's $250 an hour.
Nice.
Just to come rock with me at the church. I need you.
Nobody was shooting during the pandemic. It was just, you was either content creating, or you was just, your camera was in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I think that, like, being able to find opportunities and like find ways to help was the biggest change in the business. I was more so waiting on opportunities to come around, and I just started trying to find things that weren't working for people. And I just wanted to seek out problems. I went and chased problems.
Gotcha.
I chased lack of production in people. I went after people whose production and content was cheeks.
Russell Simmons used to say all the time, when I was an intern with Def Jam, he said, look for the problem, create the solution. That's the business.
Exactly. And I'm going to give you another quote by Jeezy. Bloodhound for the bread. I just smelled
money. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I smelt it. I was like, God all up in that.
Yeah.
So I went up to the church. I went straight to the church like, God, I know you in here.
Man, that's a blessing. So that's crazy, because through the pandemic, it was extremely difficult for a lot of people. Gratefully, I didn't struggle during that time. I was working for a lot of people that worked in their homes because they didn't want to go nowhere. So that's a blessing that you was able to do that for a lot of people.
That was the best feeling. The best feeling in the world was directing.
Yeah.
Like being in a position of like where I was able to delegate, because I knew like this is God testing and like preparing me for something greater.
Okay.
He was like, if I give you this leadership role,
because some people take power and they don't know how to handle it. They kind of just use it for their advantage, and they fumble the bag.
And I did. I absolutely fumbled the bag. You know what I did? I decided to go and get help. Now I have videographers, people that would, do the work for me.
Right.
But there was another level of it that would come where it's like, oh, I want to do this plus the real estate, plus the weddings, plus the all of the work, all the fun. I wanted to go and still shoot NASCAR. I had videographers that I looked at their work like, yo, like that's so exciting.
Yeah.
But I'm here being consistent. Why everybody turned up on Saturday nights? I was in the church with my back hurting, killing it a little bit. I was like, I'm only 20-something. Like, this is crazy. Yeah.
So knowing that you did that, I'm sure that, like you said, that made you feel good. So where is Jeff's why? What is his why?
My why is my niece.
Okay.
I see my niece dream growing up. and she's only 8 years old now, and she already has an egg business.
Oh wow.
She's selling eggs now. You know, and if you need eggs, we popping them out. You know, like we got a chicken coop, got like 20 chickens and a rooster.
How's your niece?
She run track.
Okay.
She nice with it. She nice with it. She went to the
8-year-old with a chicken coop.
She got a chicken coop. Yeah, she sell eggs. Izzy's eggs. I think it was, that's the name of it, I believe.
So we doing this as natural as possible. My son is texting me as I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
Asking me about a verification code because he's trying to be a content creator.
And let me go ahead and get into this. What is this, scallop?
This is what we call Cajun seafood pasta. You got scallops and shrimp, sun-dried tomatoes, you know, with a very, very light sauce, not too heavy. You know, shameless plug. So the biggest thing, knowing your whys and niece, is there a point now that I asked you what your why is, where do you feel like your ultimate goal in being a CEO in your business, where do you feel like that is?
My ultimate goal is when I can wake up and not have to work.
Yeah.
It's when I can wake up and be at peace. Peace is the ultimate goal. That I affirm that, and I'm gonna affirm that over your spirit and your company.
That's what
your brand and Ebony's brand and anybody watching this. I affirm success to where if you wake up, you don't have to hustle.
Right.
You hustle because you love the hustle. Because I love the game. I'm married to the game.
Yeah.
I ain't married yet, but I'm married to the game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I love what I do too. It's just, yeah, I love that goal because that's exactly where I want to be. Like, so we're about 2024. Is there a goal this year that you want to say that you reached?
That I've already reached. I stuck with my team.
First quarter.
I stuck with my team. That was a goal I hadn't reached before. I had agents or management or someone that was willing to help along the way. But that's why I said thank God for Ebony, man. Yeah. Her business, I'm telling you, like, whatever she name it, it's gonna be mint. Like, it's gonna have.
And it's wavy that she's doing that. So listen, if you are listening to this podcast or you're watching it, she's doing the footprint, the blueprint work behind before establishing what it is. So many people start what it is and they don't recognize that it can change. Because once you start it, it's like, yeah, you can change it, but she's already putting the work. So when it comes to her, it's literally going to be because of all that hard work. And that's usually how God kind of opened it up. He just he'll plant it in your spirit. Like, boom, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Instead of it being something that you premeditate and try to do on your own, like, this is going to be the name. And he's like, no, that's not even what you're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
But I know I'm going to have a Goliath to overcome. Absolutely. And I'm going to make sure that I'm continuing to honor that goal or that purpose that God put in my life and my spirit to just give my burdens to him.
Love it.
I'm going to give all my burdens to him.
Love it. So ultimately, takeaways that I feel like you gave some good nuggets about being steadfast, staying with your team, and then most importantly, you know, your why is not about you. If you're watching this, I try to give a nugget every time, but one of the things that I was given from a mentor is whatever you don't celebrate will exit your life. That could mean anything, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a person that's with you, whatever you don't celebrate will exit your life. So that's something that I always believe in, and appreciation and celebrating people is important.
That is.
So that's one thing that I like to just give to a lot of people when they come in and ask those questions. I get messages and texts and people be like, man, why do you? Because it's all about somebody else. Even though I'm getting paid for it, it's still not about me.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like my sons, my wife, my family. That's really what it's about.
That's
I could be dead tired. Just like my last podcast episode.
That's all right.
Jeff said, it's going to be that 1 year that you're going to spend 6 months or a year in sacrificing your time, family, just to make that become your forever. It's only temporary.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to sacrifice. I feel like I hope and pray that this is the season where I'm doing that.
Yeah. I was
Because
gonna say, I believe that's where you.
yeah, like I really feel like I'm taking steps back just so I can go forward. I'm trying to, and what I would call that is addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
Getting rid of things that don't serve me or serve the people around me.
No, and I think everybody's doing that, but man, most importantly, I think that's all I have. We good over there?
Honestly, I'll wrap this up by saying, man, shout out to I Am CEO podcast, man. If you ain't been on here, you need to get on, because this is a platform that's going to really take everybody who comes on this platform to a new level, a new height, so people can really understand you, because this is my first podcast. This is my first time even being on camera speaking in, I would say, a very, very long time. I was interviewed by Stephen Graddick the fourth when I was in college, and we talked about Goliath and all of that. But I feel like this is a new chapter that with all of that happened afterwards, from me becoming a CEO and becoming a business owner or a creative in that, right?
Yeah.
An artist, man, like this is huge for me. I feel like,
most people think it's just for people who are celebrities. No, I want to highlight the CEOs that don't get the recognition, that don't get the light, who don't want the light.
that don't even want the light.
Well, I mean, they don't even want the light, but the ones who are forgotten. This is what this platform is for. I might have some guys on here that's celebrities or whatever, but for the most part, this will be for the platform for y'all. So, man, let's celebrate one more time for the one time.
Man, my mama gonna see me drinking, but
So, yeah, I was talking about Ebony, and ladies and gentlemen, Ebony.
I'm so proud of you. Like, first of all, Jeff does not get in front of the camera like that. So this is the start of something new. I want us to really consider some other additional types of opportunities that came to mind during this process. And Kevin as well. These are like such naturals. He is like, Kev does 1,000,001 things. And I just appreciate y'all allowing me to do what I do.
Right.
And I think that's the most important part when it comes to the team, learning, management, brand development, all of these things is really trusting each other.
When Ebony hit you with 4 texts back to back, then she'd be like, "Can you talk right quick?" It's about to be a Latina fit. It's coming. It's
I
coming.
just appreciate y'all, and y'all really do such amazing work, and you to be in front of the camera towards your diligence, right, your sacrifice in terms of yourself. I think that this is a season, but I do think you do sacrifice. So people don't know it. He barely is breastfeeding. He barely he barely is resting.
Yeah, barely left.
Breast. And he travels. I am constantly, not only my focus with many of my clients, and I don't even like to call them clients, family members, is that they live a balanced life. So Jeff knows I will call him and say, "Did you sleep? You can't be coming off to set with a tired, late, you know what I'm saying, your energy off because you have not slept in 2 days because you are focused on shooting and editing." So I will not take on projects and tell him, "We're not thinking on these projects."
I'll sleep.
And he slept for like 2 days, and it was, "Hey, boss lady, what's up?"
I was like, that was the best question anybody's really asked along the way. Like, did I sleep?
I said, "Did you sleep? How's your spirit? Shannon, I'll call you up, like, how we feeling today? Like, we okay? Like, what's going on?" And I think that's the part that we have to really be honest and transparent, because we can burn out quick at the CEOs.
But one of the things I always want to say to CEOs, and we're going to leave it at this one, you can't burn out until you catch fire.
Y'all could drop it all of these lines.
It's okay. I don't know. We got this coming. This is on the way. So thank you guys for watching. I Am CEO podcast. This is amazing. Yeah, lock in for the next episode, guys. We out.